Captain Caveman!
Hey! We're back. It's Caveman and
Forrest?
Alright, we're here. It's Thursday. Today we're going to do a little bit of wrestling. It's a little bit later in the evening, so it's a little bit darker. I apologize for the view. Cooking going on in the background, so if you hear some or some screaming, Kara started a house on fire. Poor wife's home cooking while we're about to do some training. Before we get going, today is Blake's birthday, so happy birthday, Blake.
Happy birthday.
Blake Bishop, we're going to sing happy birthday on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Blake. Happy birthday to you. Blake's been with us for a long time. You guys came up together from the time you were little midgets. Now you're both grown-ups. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being with me the whole time, Blake. All right, we're going to get right to it. All right, just to get warmed up, we're just going to do little arm drag drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the outside of my opponent's wrist. Outside to outside, I'm going to reach across and in. It's important that we don't do this because it's a lot harder to do the pull. He's going to have a lot more control. First of all, he's got better control of his wrist. Second of all, I don't have quite the same clean grip. So I'm going to go outside to outside. I'm going to pull here. I'm going to push his arm, pull his arm like I'm putting it into my pocket. All right? So I'm going to be right here. I'm going to pull. Boom. He's going to do it to me. He's going to grab my outside wrist, pull the inside. Boom. He's going to pull me. So just go back and forth. Maybe do it a minute and a half or so just to get nice and warmed up right here. Boom. He's going to do it to me. Boom. Good. I'm going to do it to him. Boom. One of the fundamental things about wrestling is pulling and pushing and being in a good stance. So when we pull, we want to have like a good wrestling stance. We can either be square, have 1 foot forward. It doesn't really matter for wrestling as much. If you're square, you're going to be more of a tie-up position. If you're 1 foot forward, with the other foot forward, you're going to be a little bit more aggressive attacking the legs. You're going to use all these stances when you wrestle. You can't just have one. So it doesn't really matter where you do the drill from. You can move around, boom, pull. You can do me, you can pull. I'll be square. Our stances are going to be all over the place in wrestling. And that's a good thing. We're really going to work on it. All right. But we're not even going to worry about it today. We're just going to start out simple and we're going to build and build and build and build just like we have been with all the other stuff. So after the arm drag drill, we're going to go on the mat and we're going to do something I call the rock drill. So the rock drill means I'm going to be down in a good referee's position, which means both my knees are going to be on the mat. Take my hands about the same distance apart as my legs, put them down on the mat. I don't have to sit on my haunches, but I can. If I want to become really strong and have a really good base, I want to learn to sit down on my heels so people can't pick up my heels. My hands are going to go down on the mat. I don't want my hands straight because if Forrest is in a referee's position and he really attacks my arm, like you're in a top referee's position, like attack in towards my elbow, that way, yeah. It's not a very strong position. It's easy for me to get hurt. I want to have my elbows bent right here, my hands point in, and I'm ready to explode up. So the rock drill is, Forrest is just going to be on the side of me on his knees, and he's just going to try and push and pull me and break my posture. He's going to try and push, pull, anything he can to try and break my posture. Yes. If I do fall over, or you push your kid over, right away, get right back up, and get back down into the stance. I have all the kids that do it say, I'm a rock! I'm a rock! You can't move me, I'm a rock! And I want to be a nice, strong base. So when Forrest pushes or pulls me, he can pull me too. I don't get out of my stance. I really want to work on holding the stance. Alright? So you can do that like 15, 20 seconds with your kid. It's going to be important that they learn to have a good base. Also, when they're pushing and pulling, so Forrest, can you go down? Forrest has still got, sit down on your butt a little bit. Yeah, good, nice, good stance. Good solid frame right here. When I push him, he's going to learn to settle in the stance. The wider his knees are, and the more farther out his arms come, and the more he hunches up, the strongest he's going to be. So it's important you give him a little pressure. Look, the Forrest is already way stronger in that position than when he first started. So what we really want to do is make sure that they understand to have a really strong base. Because you need to have a strong base on the bottom for when you're inside on shots, and Forrest is on top. I don't want to be a wet noodle here. I've got to be able to be strong so I can pull this leg up and finish takedown. You alright?
Yeah.
So I can't have a weak base on the bottom. I don't want him to be able to spin around me. And the one thing I really don't want is I don't want to be down here on Forrest's legs. And he's really strong and he just pushes me over. And now I'm on my back. Yeah, and he's in a good, strong control position. He's a side control already, all right? Yeah, I don't want any of that stuff to happen. So I want to make sure I learn to have a good base and I learn how to break a good base. Right, we're back. All right, we're going to work on something called a spin drill. So we're going to work on spinning around our opponent on the mat. This is the technique that we're going to use to finish the snap down that we're going to do later. We're going to work our snap down today, but to be able to do a snap down, once we get the person snapped down to the mat, we're going to need to be able to get behind them really quick. And this is a drill that's going to help us do that, all right? So Forrest is going to go down in the rock stance that we just worked on, so he's going to be really strong. I'm going to connect my chest to his back. So when we do this drill, I like to call it a helicopter drill for the kids so they kind of understand. I say I want to be like the helicopter blade. So my arms go out, I come on the top, and I connect myself to him. My chest should be on his back without my hands here. I don't want to see the kids doing this, which is what happens eventually in kids class every time. So we always have to go around and make sure we say connect yourself like a helicopter blade to his back, all right? But we want to make sure we have the same terminology. So this is going to be called the spin drill, and helicopter drill is going to be for Muay Thai. So when I put my chest on his back, I want to connect it like a helicopter blade. And now all my weight's on him, I'm on my toes, I'm going to spin. When I spin, I push his head down and come around the side, just like this. This is going to be our spin drill. Now we can also say switch while we're doing that, because we're going to have to learn how to switch from one side to another. So Forrest is going to be down, your child's going to spin on your back, you're going to say switch, and they're going to change directions they're spinning in. Switch, change directions they're spinning in. All right? This is a great drill to do. Takes a lot of conditioning. Gets you tired really quickly. Gets you sweat. I'm already sweating, but I'm old and I got COVID fat going on right now, so I'm not in the best shape right now. But I'm working on it. Sunday, we're going to work on it some more when we do conditioning class, because we're back. Maybe Forrest will do it too, so he can get out of his COVID fat too. Actually, you got broken leg fat, not COVID fat. Anyways, spin drill. Really important drill to have. Make sure you guys practice it every time. Like every class, it's good for jiu-jitsu, good for wrestling. Maybe not the best for Muay Thai because not really punching or kicking. But any grappling art, it's really important to have a good spin. Alright? Alright, so we're going to get into the technique right now. We're going to do the snap down. I'm going to show you the way to get to the snap down. Then I'm going to show you how to take the back from the snap down and how to use it a little bit. Okay? So to do the snap down, we're going to start in collar bicep position. So my hand is going to go around his neck. We call it the collar position, because a lot of people grab the collar, but really want to be grabbing up here on the head. If I'm on his collar, pick your head up first. He can get his head up pretty easily and control me. If I get my hand to the back crown of his head right here, try and pull your head up. It's a lot harder to get your head up, right? Right. This little bit of difference between where I grab is a huge difference in control. So when I grab the head, I want to make sure I'm on the crown, and I like to have my forearm like coming right into his collarbone, like I do in Muay Thai, almost like a half plum here. My other hand is going to be on his bicep. Forrest, do a gun pose. I usually make Coach Matt do this because he's got big guns. So this is the bicep right here. I want to make sure I'm grabbing his bicep on the opposite side that I have the head. So I'm going to have the head and the bicep. This is inside control. It's inside control because my elbow is on the inside of his elbow. So if his elbow's inside of mine, now he has inside control. Even if I'm still on his bicep, he has control of this arm of the tie-up, and I have control of his head. So now we're in a 50-50 tie-up. I don't want that. I want to be in control. I want to pummel in and have my hand on the inside. So my elbow is on the inside of his elbow. All right? To snap, I'm going to step to the outside, step my foot back, and I'm going to pull Forrest's head down to the mat. Snap him down on the mat. All right? Forrest did what I told him to do, and he didn't give me a lot of pressure because I didn't want to have to snap him really hard because, number one, this mat is only about as long as we are tall. I didn't want to snap his head into the floor, and also I didn't want to hurt him because he's still got a bad foot. But when we snap, we want to stay connected. So when we're going to be here, I want to snap, stay connected with my hands on him, just like that time. All right? I don't want my hands to come off. If they do come off, that's okay. We can use a snap down for a lot of stuff. But for the technique we're doing today, we want to maintain control because we're going to drop our chest and use the technique we do to spin behind. I have a drill to help with the footwork and to help get this done. I actually got this drill from John Danaher, one of the best jiu-jitsu coaches in the world. So Forrest is going to be down on his knees. Right here, he's going to have his hands out. Now this drill's not going to work if he's sitting down on his haunches. Like if Forrest is sitting down like this and he's sitting back, it's going to be really hard to do. Alright, so when you're doing this as a parent for your kid, I want you to be on your knees and have your hands out just like this. So you're going to be on your knees, have your hands out, just like that, like a scarecrow almost. Forrest is going to be down in the scarecrow position, hands out. I'm going to have my grips on just like I wanted to before. Hand on the bicep, hand on the neck. I'm going to step my foot to the outside, and I'm going to step this other foot back. I'm doing this so when I snap him, I don't snap him right into my leg, and he's got a takedown on me. All right, I never want to snap someone into my leg so they take me down. I'm going to be here. I'm going to step out, step back. And when I snap, my head is going to come down as well. Boom, right to here. I'm going to control Forrest, okay? That's all we're going to do for the drill. So Forrest is going to try it on me, see how much he learned. I'm going to be down in the scarecrow position. Here, hands are out. Just got my hand. Boom. Make sure you step out and then step it back before you snap, okay? Because I could have got your leg, sir. Try again. Boom, right here. He's going to step out and step back. Yes, that was a good snap. Now this time, I want you to take your hand and make sure it stays, your forearm goes to the back of my head, okay? One more time. Boom, boom. Step back, step. Good. That was a really good one. One more. One more really good one. Step out, step back, boom. Good. Good snap. Yes. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at it back up on the feet. Right. We're going to look at it back up on the feet now. We're going to do something I like to call a push-pull. Anytime you're grappling, if you try and make someone do something, if you push them, they're usually going to come back into you, right? You push their head down, they're going to bring it up. It's just a natural reaction. It's a really good setup, all right? I call it the push-pull principle. People call all kinds of different things. I call it push-pull because that's what we call it in wrestling. There's thousands of different synonyms for it, but basically, if you try and make someone do something, they're going to give you the force and opposite, all right? So if I'm pushing in, he's going to push back, all right? If they don't, then we can do the technique. But guys are smart and they're like, I don't want to get pushed around. He's trying to do something to me, I'm going to stop it, okay? And that goes on from the very first day you train till you're a 16th degree black belt and you're like Rorion Gracie, or not Rorion Gracie, you're like Helio Gracie, or you know, one of the Gracies that invented jiu-jitsu. So the principles don't change, just the way you apply them do. So to do this move, we're going to be tied up. Good collar tie up, good bicep tie up. I want to be on his head. I'm going to push into him, he's going to push back. When he pushes back and I feel him push back, I'm going to step up, snap him down to the mat. Alright? Like I said earlier, I didn't want to snap him down into the floor, and I just almost did that. Alright? So Forrest is going to give me just a little bit less resistance. As he comes in, boom, I'm going to snap. Alright, so I have him snap to the mat now. My forearm is going to go right to the back of his head, and I'm going to sprawl out on him. Boom. See how his head went down and his pressure went on? I should not be on my knee right now. I'm giving Forrest a little break because I'm talking. Alright, but my hand is going to push his head down and away. So his head's coming away. I'm going to be up on my toes. Cover the tricep right here with my hand. My knuckles are going to come right to here. And I'm going to spin behind Forrest. And now I have his back. One more time. Forrest is down. I just snapped him. We went over to snap. Pretty good detail. Right? I'm falling down right here from the snap. Boom. I'm right here. My hand's still here. I bring my forearm into the back of his neck. And this should give me enough pressure to push his head down to the mat. If we were the same weight, Forrest's shoulders would stay up, but his head is going to come down. When his head's down, it's hard for him to reach with this hand and grab my leg. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to do. And if he does start to reach up, now I can go to a front headlock and start to tie him up. So It's not a bad thing if he goes to grab that leg. There's a lot of positions off of there. But for now, we're just working on the spin behind, very basic spin behind, all right? So I have him here. Forearm in the back. Shoulders is going to be right in the back of his neck. Forearms in his head. Knuckles come out. Cover the tricep. I'm going to spin. Take the back. Once I'm here, I can either go seat out and take the back, or I can do some work if we're doing MMA. Boom, boom, boom. I can sink my hooks in this way if I want. There's a lot of things we can do. If I'm wrestling, as soon as I get to his back right here, I want to pump in the half Nelson. Start to turn him, okay? I really like the half Nelson ride from here, or the crab ride. So, turn so your head's facing the camera. Your head's facing the camera. Perfect. So I would either bring my half Nelson in here and start to turn him, or if I feel he's really strong, he's got a really wide base, I come underneath here to the claw and I start to bring him in like that. It's not very friendly, is it?
No.
So that is our snap and spin drill. Don't have a lot of time tonight. We'll get a longer one again. What is today? Thursday. We'll get a longer one again on Saturday. We're gonna look at the triangle. And tomorrow we're gonna have off because we normally have off on Fridays. Maybe we'll get a little roll in and we can film it. Probably not. Forrest doesn't like to get beat up on camera. One more time, happy birthday, Blake. Thank you guys for watching. Was that good? Alright, thank you. That's my YouTube guy, Forrest. He's like, you gotta get people to watch your stuff. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So Forrest knows how to do that. So he's helping me out. Alright? Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate this. How many have we done now? A lot, right?
Like 8 or 9?
If you guys have not been noticing, watch these videos. Look at to see how many cans of Rockstar there are in the background. That's how many in a row we've done.
Right.
Right. Very good. Alright. We're out.
I'm definitely going to HE double toothpicks now.
Why?
I just sold my soul so
I
hard.
just so much.
I just shilled so hard.
I'm putting that in the video.